Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. We are finally on Friday, that's right. And then just one more day. And for those of you who are Muslim and have puasa, selamat berbuka puasa. I think this morning you all gotten up very early and ready for the market. That's right. Now let's look at what we have for you in our breakfast show. I'm your host, TFWong, and we have some trading ideas with SMARTRobie. That's right. So let's look at what we have this morning here. And definitely we are looking at the first thing first, be our top fans. Now, some of you are already our top fans. Thank you for your support and thank you. And we really appreciate in our appreciation, we'd like to give you 300 SMARTRobie credit. And these are the terms and conditions. Just go over to our website and able to claim that. Now, if you are not our top fans, do share and become our top fans and like and comment in all our comment in here, and you will get all this good freebie that will help you ensure that you are most updated in our market. That's right. Now also this morning in here, we are on Friday, we'll be looking at the advanced level in here. Usually we are looking at more active kind of stocks in here. Definitely is the premium alerts and looking at chart setup in here. And also not to forget, if you have any stocks that you want me to review, do key in there. Of course, the first priority will be given to those of you who have reviewed in our Google apps and also in our Facebook apps. So those you should be. If you are not, go over to the Google apps and you'll see some information on the right hand side, and you can review our products, our SMARTRobie app, so you'll get the first preference in there. And thank you again for your support and your kind sharing of this video in you. Let's move on to our headlines to this morning in here. Now, definitely the headlines has always been the economic recovery. Now, having said that, a lot has been said about banks and securities company in here. No doubt, what we have been very positive with the scheme of things in here is what we call the V. This is the V, okay? V-shaped recovery in terms of GDP growth. But normally we will know the stock market already priced this in, and that's why we've seen the market is. But having said that, the market not able to pick up and able to go higher. But in this report, which is actually shown by the TA Securities in here, showing that our country having a projection growth of GDP between 6 to 7% on year-to-year growth. But what's very interesting is the focus on the sector. Now, you all know this, right? We all know. Let me just switch to a wider chart here. Go over to SMARTRobie, and you can see the hot sector, hit that one up. And you could see on the right hand side in here, what is their focus. Now, TA Security here says that potential recovery sectors are banking, but you don't see banking in here, right? What is really positive in the top three are healthcare and transportation in here. Maybe they are right. Maybe the analysts from the TA Securities are right. So you got to be focusing on oil and gas, plantation and tourism because of the V-neck recovery in here. And definitely they are putting a buy call on Public Bank and Hong Leong Bank with the target price of $5 and a target price of $23 with Hong Leong. Let's look at Public Bank. Having said that, that's the one that many of us, including myself, have hit that Public Bank. Double click it. Let's look at the chart wise, right, and see where we are in Public Bank. So you can see right now Public Bank, it's a nice what we call low volume accumulation in here. And those of you who like Public Bank, maybe will this news this morning push Public Bank to a little bit of line change? No, it is still 4 ringgit 20 cent in here. I think pretty much the same for the Hong Leong. What is really moving is our next story here. Our next story is definitely the COVID cases. That's right. Now, I don't like to update this kind of news because you are getting it, but tied up to the rubber sector update, a very quick one in here. We have cases 2,875. We have seen the cases also seems to be going up in India, and that's really a big concern here. India has the highest one-day surge, 300,000. That's right, 300,000 in here, and it's really sad to see that also on some of the news that I pick up. And I do hope, pray to God that we don't get to that. But as such, during this festive season, we are seeing with the Hari Raya, Kelantan have seen 662 cases itself and 2,875 in here. We don't want to go back where we are. You can see on the chart, on this side of the chart here, the last high we were around 5,005. Remember, Philippines has broken higher. This segment takes it to the next story is But the rubber glove, okay. Now, if you look at the rubber glove this morning in here, how do I check a rubber glove? I can go back to main menu and I'll go on to the market. So itself, all right, you can see here the main just on top of me here, main gainer, Avanta, up almost 20% with the rubber glove. Then you have Supermax, you have early on you have a Hata, but then those has already moved up in there. So this will actually tied up to pretty much what the market where we are heading from. Let's take a look at this in here. That's why we are seeing the support where we see around 1590 because of the rubber glove. The banks are holding up. Remember the banks, we talk about it on Wednesday night being the biggest composition, about 30% in here, and also the rubber glove. So with the rubber glove holding and the banks holding, that's why we see the CI here or on this side of the screen holding up in here. But the rubber glove started to move up, we will move up too, right? So let's look at this morning after seeing the big one, the most active one, Focus, Marsing. Yep, Marsing is on the news because of this, right? Marsing is 147 million, up almost 10%, because Marsing want to be the top 5 in here. And now that's very interesting to see, most active. And this morning the market is still struggling, hanging on to 1607 just on top of the chart that you see in here. Still green pentagon in here. And the story goes with Marsing is because they wanted to really, sort of switch being a property in here. Tan Sri Leong Hoi Kam, really innovative, really entrepreneur, able to see this. Now, the key point and why we see this thing moving is what we call the margin expansion in here. Now, take note of it, all right, that you can see on the right-hand side in here. What he's saying, look, the ASP, the average selling price for rubber glove continue to be around 85 to 115 US dollars. And in the industry, they can produce, their production cost, they can produce between 36 to $40. So if you do your maths, right, 115 US dollar, that's what they intend to sell, and their cost price is 40. It's almost 3 times, and that's crazy. And that's why he is what it is. And they plan to go listing in Hong Kong. We also see that Top Glove are also going listing in Hong Kong. This is when we have wave 3 and wave 4, what we saw in Kelantan, and that is giving the kind of premium and prices are moved up. We can definitely see why we have inside here. And those of you who did not get in on the rubber glove and Hata, I think you may have missed this round. Remember, those of you who have followed Zac also on a couple of 2 weeks ago, we did talk about all the rubber glove, but it doesn't take a genius really if you just follow SMARTRobie. If you just put in Top Glove in here, hit that one, you can see the green pentagon already come up very early in here. You could see even going back to early on to just switching the wider chart here, you can see somewhere around the 21st or 21st of March. That's right, green pentagon in here. It didn't close below the ATR stop loss, so the market could have held on. You could have got in, and this morning Top Glove, let's see where it is today, right? It's up 2.3%. Now the question you're going to be asking me, is it time to go into Top rubber glove? So plan your trading plan. And those of you who know, I've talked about Top Glove even early on in the earlier stock trade idea that I picked in here. But the cat is out of the bag. You know the story behind them with the ASP prices in here. I know you're going to be very excited about it, but look for a good entry in here. And if you look at the Top Glove, there is a stock fundamental in here, and let's look at the target price. Right, target price over there at the PE of 8.5 times, we are looking at $7. Right now it is doing 562 with a 2% up just now, 575 in here, a little bit more upside to go. What do you think? Do you think rubber glove will see if we have tonight at after 5 o'clock, the market break above 3,000 cases, then you'll see all this rubber glove will gila night one, right? And that's the unhappy story or the worst case scenario I'm painting on. Bad thing happen on COVID cases, your rubber glove stock do well, right? So let's move on to our next story. So our next story actually is on Petronas Chemical in here. See an increased income in here and all the pengarang in here, but it's poised for line change in here. So Petronas Chemical is also taking a cue from the economic recovery in here. Haven't done so well, but it's doing better. And with the rising all prices that we see also in the reopening of the economy in here, this will do pretty well. So let's look at PChem, PHE, and you can see PChem, Petronas Chemical, hit that one, and look at the stock chart and stock comment here. All right, Okay, let's do it one more time again. Okay, you can see here it's still in a bearish mode because the market actually made a new high. Switching to a wider chart here. Okay, switching to a wider chart, you can see right here, and it actually turned red pentagon, yellow trend zone, same color as my shirt here. That tells you it is sort of moving sideways and tend to be hooking to the downward side. Do take note, the ATR stop loss, we always take the last high here, which is this bar that you see, okay, around the $7.30, right? And those of you who want an upgrade, right, definitely you want to upgrade to the Pentagon Guider plugin, where you can see the real live prices in here, and that's the one that you can hit on, the symbol 5183. But I will show you up in this next. All right, in here, Petronas Chemical, all right, PChem, and you can see the ATR stop loss, which is $7.58. That's right, $7.58. Always take the last high ATR stop loss. All right, take note. So this morning, Pet Chemical. Okay, Pet Chemical is pretty much the same in here, looking for that line change. But Pet Chemical has a win rate of 70%. With the Pentagon Guider, and going back as far back as 2019, back testing almost 10 trades in here. Interesting to see that this is one of the SMARTRobie very intelligent do that it can do back testing for you. All right, so let's move on to our next story here. Is no other than Globtronics. We've seen Globtronics the last 2 days break down in here, and there's a real concern in here because they are moving into cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing is something not in their forte, but they are taking a bold step, and I believe this is in accord to the Industrial 4.0. According to this report, which is from MBank, and let me just bring up Globtronics, GTR, hit the one. All right, Globtronics, and you can see stock comment and stock chart. Let's look at the stock comment, stock chart. Right, you can see why the market fell. That you see in here. All right, the market fell at around 275, and is this because of the going into the cloud? But we do know there is a global chip. But the question remains in here that Globtronics is a value stock, and they are looking, all right, a buy call in here from this research house to 2 ringgit 84 cents. So right now, let's take a look at the price in here, and looking at the Globtronics livestock price here is 245, down another 2%. So that's why it represents a very good buy at this point. But don't just buy it. I think you need to look at, we are seeing climatic volume in here. Wait for the green pentagon to drop. Maybe you can get a better price in here. Last look, Globtronics was 250 based on this report, and valuing the company at 1.7. So it's actually pretty much a large cap. It's one of the best, I believe, best in terms of for the manufacturing. So you can go to the stock fundamentals in there. Right, and you can see, okay, let's wait for a while in here. All right. Okay. Okay, so you can see here, the rating is 2 out of 8. Okay, 2 out of 8 PE of 32 times, but it does have a very good ROE, 17 times, which is higher than the sector average of 10 points, and also pay a decent dividend 2 points. So those of you who are yielding for dividend, this is good. But having said that, it is of course overvalued in here. Looking at it, you can see the discounted rate is about almost minus 48%. So you need to have a positive 40% for it to be valued. But we all know growth stocks, right? It's very difficult to be valued and the deep discount, and that's something I'm going to talk about really next Wednesday night. And you all saw the in the beginning of this is our deep discount value investing, which we talk about growth in the past, but there are also another area, another discipline where we want to look at deep discount value investing. We want to seek all those really small company, right, that has sort of took off from off the tangent, but there has a lot of potential in here. We are looking at those characteristics. So this is one of these very good case study that we can input into the deep discount value investing course, and you may just find a multi-bagger for that one. All right, let's move on to our next story. Now, next story is a lesson from Smart Money. We all know focus. All right, now early on we have seen, let's switch to this, go back to main menu, and you can see focus. Right, focus is our main active, very active. 303 million in here, up 1 cent in here. But if you look in hindsight, what this story basically telling us is there are smart money equivalents. So I'm just going to bring up the so-called chart here. You can see focus, okay, focus dynamic. Actually, what they do, they open a restaurant near my place there. All right, you can see this one switching to a daily chart. You can see this market here actually it went up a very nice move, okay, over some time. Last year they were like 21 cents in April 2020, push up, and the story talks about where there were nominees, and actually these nominees are all smart money lah. They don't want to put their real name there. Let's look at focus. Let's see who are the main shareholder. Okay, so you can see the main shareholder put in focus. Right? Do they put their real name or they hide under nominees? Go to stock fundamentals. You can see here Stanson. Okay, number 1 on the right hand, Stanson, Maybank Kim Eng Security, CGS CIMB. So no one want to put their real name there. All right, Stanson. Now, if you look at this report, you can also say that there is a lot of major shareholders in here, hold about 26% to fintech. And if you go into even hit the Focus Dynamics website here, let's hit that one just for curious sake, right? It's actually into a retail. Okay, let me just get this again, right? It really retail. You can see, Mixo Robot. What do they do? Human. There they have a restaurant, luxury car. This remind me of one of those very dodgy kind of business model in here. But it did go up very high, up to about 75 cents. Now plummet even before the mid-trade line. Is this a good value to buy? Again, study the chart. But more importantly is during this accumulation in here, all right, accumulation in here, we want to see that market go up. But if that market don't go up, like we saw it here, that usually break down, you got to go. You got to go, all right? And you would have avoided this whole thing, what's the worst case here, all right? Let's bring in here, maybe you want to be exceeded at the opening, and right now you avoided 77% down. So right now, there's a really climatic volume in here. I know a lot of people lost money in here, and I definitely hope it is not you. Okay, so take note about this thing in here. Let's move on to our next story here. So a lesson to learn is learn to read the chart. And if you're going to go for all these penny stocks, it's even more important to check out whether these are smart money kind of focus. And how do we know that? Definitely on the right hand side, look at the top 3 shareholder focus. And usually if they are names, then it's okay. Now let's give it an exercise. Let's look at Ma Seng. Okay, Ma Seng, and see who is the top shareholder. Okay, and look at that one. Maya Teratai, EPF. If EPF smart money, no, isn't it, right? Bank of Singapore, it's actually more like a wealth kind of thing. It could be owned by the family of the Tan Sri there. And Mayang Teratai is definitely a Tan Sri owned company in there. So these are actually somehow information that you can use to avoid, getting yourself caught in those smart money. Unless you know these are smart money counter, then it's better you have a more interactive chart, getting a plug-in like this one here, looking at the hourly chart and trade it. Your chance of success will be more. Again, if you're going to go in and fight with the smart money, make sure you get the right tools and the right skills, and that is why it is. But if you're looking for something deep discount value investing, that's what I'm going to share with you next Wednesday night for those of you exclusively for our masterclass member. That's why I said before, if you are our masterclass member, there is a lot we will teach you, we will share with you, and how we've been profiting and making money in the market in there. So something for you to think about. All right, let's move on to our next story here. Okay, next story will be on the US market. Now, last night we have one of the big falls that are on Dow Jones in here, but it seems to be building a base around 33,600 level in here because of this one news. All right, the one news is that more tax for the super rich. There is a lot of what we call the income capital gain tax for those who are in the shares and in the market. So this news revolve around about higher tax for both corporate we already know, but this one is referring to the capital gain tax, maybe also for the corporate individual, and also another higher bracket of income tax for the super rich India, those earning above $1 million US. So the market doesn't like it, and that's why we see. But I do see this is just a temporary thing. As news of more this being absorbed, right, the market will able to take it. The focus is still on Joe Biden green energy, which is the 2.3 to 3 trillion US dollar, and that's the one that we all should focus on in here, right? And also not to forget, I continue to flash this again, because why we need to be focused is to have a strategy. Now on a 2020 portfolio trading strategy, we have shared with many of you in here 106% return for 2020, and so far for this January to April, we are up 15.5% in here. Our target is to hit at least 50% for year 2021 on the back portfolio of 31,000. Now this is a call to what we want to do. Remember on this Wednesday, how to make 1 million in the stock market, whether it's KLSE market, and this is part and parcel of what we want to share with you, the strategy, the lesson learned, the tools, right, the coaching and the mentoring to bring you up there. Now, if you are not making the kind of money or really struggling, all you have to do is ask yourself, what can I do to challenge myself to move it as part of what we call our agenda, train trader and train investor. And that's why next Wednesday, this deep value course exclusively for our masterclass. Now, if you have not joined our masterclass member, maybe you should think about upgrading your skill and tool too. All right, let's move on to our next leaderboard. That's right. Now, leaderboard for our advanced trade idea where we have right now is and remember, trade idea is updated every 30 minutes. So let's look at what we have earlier on. Maybe I'll just skip this one and go straight to it. BSL was 42%. Now, do take note. Usually this kind of movement, they move up in short bursts, all right? But if you allowed it a bit longer, you will see the market move up. And that's why we see BSL Corp, which is actually steel company, steel manufacturer, that's why they went up by 45%. But the recent one, item number 6, all right? We have 12.3% up, 16th of April. In 5 bars, it started to move up, and I'm going to be looking at that as our case study, that's right. Now, let's look at our lesson learned from our last week pick. All right, 16th of April, Pro Lexus and CI Holding, that's a good one. 16th of April, up 12.3% in here. All right, so first thing first, those of you who are willing to have a chart like this, our plugin, you might want to subscribe and to get more information in here. There you go, right on top of me. Plan and pricing is available in here. So let's look at the SMARTRobie here. Let's look at Pro Lexus. Pro Lexus is, there you go. Now this is, let me just take this one out and show it to you. Last week we were here, switching to an hourly chart. You can see this is our hourly chart. We were around, push this a bit up here. Okay, 9, 10, around 11 o'clock. This is where we were. All right, the market pushes up and you have this huge climatic volume in here. Then we saw the hourly chart. But then again, if you want to exit, you want to use the daily chart to exit. Daily chart still looks good. It's a nice pullback. If we hold up, you have a continuation. All right, so that's on Pro Lexus. Let's look at CI Holding, which we picked last week too. This one is much better. You can see continue to move up, hit, let's take that one out, or it hit up to the old high. And those of you who have gone in a bit early, you might want to take some partial profit or go back to your SMARTRobie trading plan and see what you have inside there. So let's switch to our hourly chart. We were somewhere around here. That was on the, what date was that? 16, that's right. 16 was our trade idea here. Around 10 o'clock, it came in, dipped down just after lunch, pull back. And guess what? On this week, 21st, which is I think on Monday, started to pull up and breaking up in here. What do CI Holding does? So you can always check out CI Holding. Hit that one, second one on the list, CI Holding here, switching to a wider chart here, right? Always, sometimes this kind of stocks when we pick, when we talk about them. Jack Capital, Lee Chia Ming, okay? What do? They do consumer products. Let's look at this one. I think more like, okay. Hit that one. CIH.com incorporated, very basic website in here. All they do a lot of vegetables, all we do, it's a very industrial kind of thing. Okay, so maybe this is benefiting from some of our what we call recovery. What do you think? Okay, but and then again, if you're just purely trading on this one, it's a very nice chart. You have a long accumulation right in here, and usually when it goes up like this, right, and one more bar or just today, take some profit. All right, take some profit. You have not, but we will come back and look at it. And then the third one we have on top there, item number 3 is Connect, which was our trade idea the 9th of April. Okay, let's look at Connect. So again, on the part where I talk about if you are able to let it run a bit, right? Remember, this was on 6th of April. We picked this around here, a market move up, okay, and then sideways, and then we have our ever popular no supply, right? No supply, very, very powerful, has a very good win rate of 80%. And those of you who want it, do upgrade it to our plugin package in here. We have all our NS, we have all our support in here, lots of benefits, and for you to benefit if the market continues to go up for. All right, so this is what we have. So there's still an old high, $2.13 there in here, but now it's still another about maybe 10-13 cents to take up. That could be a good level to take profit in here. All right, so not bad. Some of the trade idea we have 3 positive going forward. Of course, not all the time we will have positive in here. It all depends on how smart is SMARTRobie picking those charts for you in here. All right, let's move on to the next segment that we have is episode 61. All right, 23rd of April, we have 2 trade idea. Remember, they are updated every 30 minutes in here. And let's look at the first one, Gets. Right, which is a green energy. The market went up, nice pullback in here, look like a line change, and that's what I like about it, because this one is going to retest back this old thing here. All right, next one we have is LuxChem. All right, LuxChem. All right, LuxChem. Here it make a nice long congestion move inside here, and LuxChem is actually tied to rubber glove. Right, LuxChem supplies some of the chemicals to rubber glove, if you're not mistaken in here. Of course, we can always check that one out. LuxChem. Okay, L-U-X. There you go. Okay, LuxChem, and you go on to the stock fundamentals. Right, and it's actually held by 2% there. ChemFlex in here. Not bad. FA rating of 2, right? It's not well priced already because it has moved up some time ago. ROE of 13%. Let's look at LuxChem. Double hit on the website here. So just on top of me here, you can see basically they are actually in Damansara Uptown. All right, they have a building there, very well established in here. They are very proud of their business, but usually I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are into polymers, and they supply some of the chemicals to the rubber glove. All right, so let's move on to our next segment here. Okay. So our next segment is this setup. Right, this trade setup, it's very important. You see time and time again some of the charts that we did, whether it was Scomnet, whether it was CI, they have this interesting setup, sideways movement, then followed by a line change in here. Volume need to be low. That's all we need to do. Focus on this one here. All right, keep on focusing and you'll be right. And those of you who want to know more, this is a QR code, and also it's available also this same video that you want to watch to. You can always go to LuxChem here, go to stock comment and chart just on top of you in here, that video. All right, check out the VSA tutorial just on top. You can also access at the same time. So if you don't miss this one, you can pick it up from the stock comment and charts to view this video. All right, and of course this is the deep discount value investing I was talking about. It will be on next Wednesday, 28th of April. So next Wednesday we won't have any public talk. This is exclusively for you, our masterclass member, and those of you who want to join us in our masterclass. This is a chance for you in here. You can join it and then come for the June intake right in here, because we want to do this, because I really want to share, especially our coaches and ourselves. We have been in the market for so long. We have so many techniques and so many methods that we want to do, and to share some of this with you and discuss on a case-to-case basis how we are able to find this deep discount multi-bagger in KLSE and also in US market. So don't miss that. Those of you who are masterclass member, make sure you come in around 8 o'clock. We will take this all the way to 11. And those of you who wanted to join us, this is an opportunity for you to find out more too. There's a number in there. Do text us and we can give you some information. All right. Not to forget our next public talk, which is 4th of May. That will be on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Our regular Monday and Friday, all right, which is the stock analysis and review session, was still ongoing, which is from Zac at 9:30 every night to about 10:15 in here. So check it out on our Facebook in here. All right, don't forget to be our top fans in here from this promotion April to June, and we will move on now to our stock review in here. All right, so let's look at the stock review that we have for you. Stock, some of you want me to look at some stocks, so this is the part in here. And don't forget to give us your feedback if you've done a good job on our apps at Google Play Store and also at the Apple Store. All right. So first thing first, just want to check whether, okay, we have here Miss Lee, okay. Okay. We'll look at Abu, Rohana, Acoustic. Of course, I will give the preference to our members in here. Okay, Abu is one of our member. So we look at Avanta first. This is a rubber glove, so continue to let it run, no problem one, okay? Right, I think it's going to go higher. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe take a bit of profit around the old high here, right? Old resistance high around 195, or you can let it run, wait until red pentagon. Nice one in here. If you had gone in during the first green pentagon around here, right, you'll be $1, about 105, 65 cents. So, you know, like you do your maths, right? That's about maybe, okay, I do my maths here. I have a calculator. So, 165, you've gone in at 105. Okay, that's a 57% profit, enough to pay for all your plugins if you have got it in earlier and in there. All right, so let's look at another one. Abu, very nice one there. Okay, we have here Rubber Rex. Why Rubber Rex not moving like Avanta? Okay, Rubber Rex. Let's look at Rubber Rex. Okay, sometimes I say it's because of luck. It did move, okay? It has profit taking earlier on here. You can see upthrust, another upthrust. So which means as the market go up, there's a lot of profit taking. It's just that RubberX went through profit taking first. Avanta is going to get that soon. So you can see, right? It's just that two runners, they are running together, okay? One already exhausted. In this case is RubberX. The Avanta still can run. So sometimes like that, okay? But if you have gone in this one here at the green pentagon here, all right, you can put this, push it up to here, less lah, about 30%. The other one run more, all right? The other one run more. This is 143. Avanta is what, 67. Also another one is because Avanta started off from below $1. Okay, so usually take note now. Usually stocks below $1, when they try to run through that $1, that's where the biggest movement is. Under the $1 to the $1, this is where the big move is. But you notice RubberX, by the time they got it, it is already what we call above $1 already. You can see here, by the time you buy it, it's already 110. So the quantum of appreciation usually are smaller. Okay, so I think that's my my little 2-cent thought to that one. Okay. Okay, CNI. Okay, CNI. To me, CNI looks like a very, very tough to break out from here. Okay, because you have the two resistance. Usually you can have this, what we call, how do I say, double top. It can come back down. Odds are not so good. I wouldn't want to trade this. If I want to go in, I'll probably go in at here when it first turned green pentagon. You got to learn how to trust the green pentagon and go in the opening. If you had gone in on the opening here, right, you already be how many? 32% in the money. Compared to now, you're thinking you still got a little bit more hard to go up. All right. Remember, choice of selection of stocks is important. right? Don't go, fear of missing out, which we talk about, Miss Lee, in our masterclass. That's why I said before, being a trained trader and trained investor, it's very important. If you continue to be in the market, learn your lesson well. And if you are not into deep value discount, I'll see you next Wednesday, Miss Lee, on our deep value discount. Definitely a lot here to be shared in here. I think more importantly, all of us, we have a destination to feel whether we want to get there or not, and we don't be struggling all the way through. All right, let's look at some other stocks that I might have from in here. We got okay, Simon. Want me to look at Emulus. Okay, Simon want me to look at Emulus. Okay, Emulus again, hitting a resistance in here. Still looks okay, still supported. Volume seems to be very low in here. All right, Nora, we have Nora. Let me see whether Nora. Okay, Nora, we got Sam Lambert. Usually I will just pick those which have, okay, which have Gene here. It's also our top fans. Denoise, okay. Denoise Technology. Okay, Denoise Technology seems to be in the range bound kind of thing, okay. Range bound, I would take it. You have to move a bit longer first. I would think that the congestion accumulation will have to start. No doubt it's green pentagon in here. But you take note on the left-hand side, it needs to break up. By the time it broke up to this one here, the market drops. So that's not really good. That's actually profit taking. All right, I'll be very careful for this one in here. Always given the choice, let's say Rubberex and Avanta and all this, look at the setup. You have picked the right sector, but after the right sector, you have to pick the setup. Or you can look at the fundamentals in here. I think that's always one of the things to do. All right. Let me see. Miss Ding here wanted me to look at Ocean Cash. Let me see whether you are one of our support in here. No, I didn't see your name, so I'll probably give preference to another stock here. Okay, but let me see. Okay, we'll look at Miss Lai here. Okay, Lai for Kong Streets. Okay, Streets Logistic. Okay, that's not too bad, but pullback in here, it's not ready yet. But if the pullback usually is a 3-bar pullback, okay, check it out from our pullback course. I think Lai, you attended our masterclass, if I'm not mistaken. Use the notes that Fu has talked about. And this weekend, Fu is going to talk about the volume flow. And again, another bonus course as part of our masterclass. There's a lot of extra bonus courses that we do in our masterclass to make sure you guys are picking it up. All right, then we'll look at Ocean Cash right now. Okay, Ocean Cash. Okay, Ocean Cash again, you got a lot of double top upthrust in here. Very similar to Rubberex, okay? It has picked up, and again, it actually moved because of the healthcare, all right? Because they make masks, I suppose. Actually, Ocean Cash got nothing one. This is just people pushing up about it. It not really tied to the rubber glove, all right? You can see here, going to be tough. You got an old resistance in here. The trade setup is not as good as the others, which I've shown you in here. So important. That's why I always say before, being a trained trader and trained investor, knowing the setup, knowing the right tools to pick up, and knowing something that we discuss usually in our class. So make sure you get those kind of education to put you ahead. All right, so that's all I have for today. For tomorrow will be our volume flow for our masterclass members. So we definitely have 2 more bonus sessions. Tomorrow we'll start about 10 o'clock. It goes out about 2 o'clock. For those of you who are coming like Misty, our masterclass, make sure you check out the volume flow from our coach. From our senior coach, Fu, as well. Next Wednesday, our another bonus course on deep value discount. Plenty of courses for you to learn, plenty of support and training for you. Something to get you. We will promise we want to train you to be a trained trader and a trained investor going forward. All right, so let's move on to our, don't forget to become our YouTube subscriber in here. Even last Wednesday night, we talked about how to make 1 million in the stock market. It's already up inside here. Check out if you miss out some of the facts I've talked about here. A summary, required rate of return, diversification, and many more on those videos. Absolutely free. Nothing to lose out being a subscriber of our fan. Of course, those of you who are with us for the first time, do check out our Telegram chat room in here to be informed of all the free information that we have to get you into the right frame of mind to make your $1 million. Hopefully, not within a year, hopefully within the specific time we talk about. Check out that video too. All right, that's all I have, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Definitely for our masterclass member in here, make sure you join us. There is still time for you to register for our masterclass and come for you. Just take down the information in here. The number is just scrolling right in the side. And also, I'll see you on our deep discount course next Wednesday. Bye bye.